Hello everyone, and congratulations on completing the second section of this course. So by now we should have this layout assembled that will behave in a certain way when we try to resize it or stretch it. So if I grab this corner, it will just rearrange itself and it will look decent on different screen sizes and different screen resolutions. And in this section we will start writing actual scripts for our game. So a new folder will appear in our assets folder that will be called scripts. And right now I have opened a project that will demonstrate how our game will look by the end of section 3. So I can open this scripts folder and all the functionality of our game will be covered by these 5 scripts. So game manager, input manager, score tracker, the script for our tiles that is called tile, and this long name script called tile style holder. Let me just go back to assets and launch our game to show you how this looks. This is going to be the longest section of our tutorial and also the most feature packed and the most interesting one and probably the hardest. So I wouldn't suggest to skip any of the lectures because all the material is interconnected when we start writing code, and the decisions that we make in one script or one class, they will somehow affect the decisions that we make in the other class. But the positive thing is that by the end of section 3 we will actually have a fully functional game. So I can go to our game mode and try to move the tiles on the game field. And we can see that the tiles are moved and the tiles are merged, but the tiles move instantly on the game field, and we are going to address these issues in section 4 when we will apply final polishing touches to our game. And now I would like to concentrate and tell you what we will be doing in this section. So if I go to our console tab in Unity, you can see that console will give us these debug statements that say right move, up move. So they actually track all our moves, and if I go back to game mode and start moving the tiles on our game field, we can see that new debug statements will appear. So this is the first thing that we are going to do in this section. We are going to write a script. It will be called input manager. It will just take input from user, and for now we will read the input from the arrow keys on our keyboard. And the second step will be rather interesting. I will just exit play mode and show it to you. Then we are going to assemble this interesting component that will be called tile style holder. It is a really short script, but it will provide us a huge opportunity of customizing the look of our game. Right now our game is configured to look like a traditional 204.8 game. It has all the colors that we have picked from our sample screenshot. But I can go to this tile style holder script and change the color of our number 2 tile, so I can make it something like lime green or just any other color. And let's launch the game and see how that looks. So just by changing this color in the inspector we can alter the look of our game, and right now our number 2 tiles will look differently. And actually it just came to my mind another thing that we might do. I will go back and pick the color for our number 2 tiles from the sample screenshot. Another thing that we might do is we can change these numbers that say 2, 4, so the numbers on our tiles might be changed, and I'm going to do this for our first 3 tiles. So I'll make it 1 and 3 and 6. So just by changing these numbers we can now launch our game, and we have a game of 3s. So I can merge these two once and it will result in a number 3 tile. I can merge them again, then if I merge 3s they will become a 6. So I will exit play mode and return everything to the values that we have in our 204.8 game. Just this little component called tile style holder, it will provide us a huge opportunity of customizing your game, and you don't have to do everything manually. It is just convenient to pick all the colors here in the inspector, and then it will be used for all the tiles, and these numbers they will be used as a text on your tiles. Then in this 204.8 game we will work towards an ability to generate new tiles First, we will implement it so that when we press a certain key on our keyboard, a new tile will be generated, and this will be done just for test purposes so that we know that our code actually works. There will also be a lecture with a small slideshow that I have put together where we will discuss the main game mechanics of the 248 game and how it will actually work for us in terms of coding, and then we are going to implement all the moving and merging mechanics in code, and this is a very important part of the course. And then we are going to start improving our game visually, so first we will make this new game button to actually start a new game. Then we will make these score and high score HUDs to actually count scores, and we will make our scores stored in between game launches. Right now, if I exit the game, our high score won't be set to 0, it will show the previous value of our high score, which is 1180 right now. And in the end of this section, we will also work on displaying a message to our player if he wins or if he loses. So if the player reaches to the 248 tile, he will see a message that says "You won." And if there are no more available moves on the game field, our player will get a message that the game is over and your score was something something. So we will also work on that. So by the end of this section we will have a fully functional game that might still require a couple of polishing touches that we will apply in section 4. But without a doubt this is the main section of our course, because by the end of it we will get to actually test our game and we can determine whether we have got everything right or something needs to be reworked. So thank you for watching and see you in the next lecture, in which we'll work on reading input from user and displaying these messages into our console.